My sister accused me of stealing her ring. At the family table she said, "You stole my ring." 10 days later, a detective slid a pawn ticket across the wood. My sister stopped talking. The receipt did the rest. I'm Hannah. My sister is Qley. We grew up sharing a bathroom, not always the truth. Our mom, Denise, believes in appearances. Our dad, Mark, believes in paper. The ring, vintage sapphire with diamond halo, heirloom from Grandma May. Inside the band, tiny script ME 1957. It's not just a ring, it's a story you can wear. Family rule, Dad's version sentiment without paperwork is a fight waiting to happen. When Grandma passed, Mom kept the ring in her closet safe. Last fall, when Qley got engaged to Ryan, Mom gave the ring to her for this new chapter, with one condition: keep the appraisal current and insure it. We celebrated. I meant it. Qley's finger is a half size smaller than Grandma's was. I went with her to Crescent Jewelers for a resize and prong check. The jeweler, Sanjay, inspected the engraving. Lovely. We'll photograph the hallmarks before and after. We left with 3 digital things that later mattered more than feelings. 1. Work order with the ring specs and the engraving noted. 2. Before/after photos with timestamps. 3. An updated insurance appraisal emailed to Qley and CC'd to Mom. We celebrated again. If you've ever heard me talk about receipts, vibes, this is it. We had paper. 3 weeks later, I hosted a Sunday brunch. Eggs, fruit, tiny cinnamon rolls that got more praise than I deserved. Qley arrived late, hair perfect, ring sparkling like it understood attention. People came and went. At 2:40 p.m., Qley and Ryan left. At 3:15, she texted, "We're home. Thank you. Ring safely on finger blue heart dot." At 7:48 p.m., a group chat exploded. "Qley, emergency. My ring is gone. Last place I had it was Hannah's." Love these daily stories? Like plus subscribe. She said she took it off to moisturize and probably left it by the sink. I checked. Nothing. I sent a picture of my sink, the empty dish, the whole counter. I walked the house on video. Nothing. At 8:12, she wrote, "You're the only one with spare keys." And that's when the accusation arrived, wearing politeness. By 8:30 p.m., our family chat had 15 unread bubbles and one clear message: I had the ring or I knew where it was. Mom called, tremor in her voice, "Just bring it back and we'll forget this." Dad texted privately, "Don't argue in public. Write it down." Ryan chimed in with a tone I didn't like, "We can't proceed with the venue deposit without knowing the ring is safe. It's common courtesy." I typed, erased, typed again. Then I did what Dr. Patel, my therapist from another episode, taught me: ask for data, not drama. Me, chat Qley, please send the last photo or video where the ring is clearly visible after 3 p.m. today. Qley, why are you acting like a cop? Me, because cops look for timestamps. And because I want your ring found. No photo arrived. At 9:06, Qley messaged, "I'm filing a report in the morning." I said, "I'll meet you there." That night I made a timeline like it was a term paper. A 12:10 to 2:40 p.m., Qley at my house, ring on. A 3:15 p.m., her text, "Ring safely on finger." A 7:48 p.m., ring missing. A 8:12 p.m., accusation. I printed our group messages, her 3:15 text, the Crescent Jewelers appraisal, the work order, before/after photos, insurance policy confirmation. What I didn't do: I didn't search her apartment. I didn't check her phone. I didn't threaten anyone online. I wrote a single page titled "What We Need," a last clear image of the ring after leaving my house. Any removal moments, hand lotion, dishwashing. A list of places visited between 2:40 and 7:48. I slept badly but not guiltily. We met at the precinct. Officer took the report, typed carefully, asked for identifying marks. I handed over the engraving, the appraisal, and photos. He explained something worth knowing. In many U.S. jurisdictions, pawn shops must record seller ID, item description, serial/engraving if present, and hold items for a statutory period, often 10 to 30 days, before resale. Police can search pawn databases for matches, but shops can't disclose customer info to private citizens. If the ring was lost, not stolen, the process is different. But our report framed it as stolen property with unique identifiers. Qley signed the report. She cried. I believed the tears even if I didn't believe the story. That's a thing. 2 days in, the group chat cooled to room temperature. Dad asked, any updates? None. Then cousin Lena sent me a DM, is this relevant or am I messy? It was a screenshot of Qley's IG Stories archive, not public. Lena had screen recorded it when Qley shared from close friends last week. In the clip, a blue drink sparkled and so did the ring, with a restaurant geotag for Monday, 2 days after brunch. The caption, date night surprise blue heart. I didn't forward it to the group. I printed it for the binder with a timestamp overlay. Then another crack, our family phone plan shows call durations. On Tuesday, Qley had a 19-minute call with Harbor Pawn Loan. Weird if your ring is stolen and irreplaceable. I circled it in pencil and wrote a note to myself, ask, don't accuse. I walked into Harbor Pawn Loan with the appraisal copy and a photo of the engraving. The owner, Mr. Vega, was professional but granite. Ma'am, I can't discuss customer transactions, he said. I get it, I said. May I leave you this case number, the appraisal and my card? If you see this ring, please hold it and call the detective. He nodded. We already comply with uploads. If there's a match, the department will contact us. That's the wall, privacy policy, and the thin space where cooperation lives. I didn't push harder. Cooperation dies when pushed. I called the case detective assigned from property crimes and left a voicemail, unique engraving, family drama, possible pawn lead, not sure if I'm right. Detective Elena Ortiz called back like a person who sleeps less than she deserves. MS. Hail, she said, my last name. I can't promise anything, but engraving is a gift from the paperwork gods. Email me the appraisal, the photos, and that story screenshot. I sent a zip titled Ring Harris binder. 10 minutes later, got it. If it's in the system, we'll see a hit. If it's already sold post-hold, we can still follow the ticket. 2 days passed. Silence does a number on your spine. On day 3, Ortiz called, we have a match in the pawn database to your engraving. Item was ticketed at Harbor Pawn Loan. I've requested the ticket and the ID scan associated with the transaction. I said, thank you, and said nothing else, because screaming thank you at a detective is weird. Ortiz asked to meet at my parents' house with all interested parties. We sat around the table we'd ruined with homework and saved with coasters. Mom hovered. Dad looked like a spreadsheet. Ryan squeezed Qley's hand. Ortiz set down a manila envelope. I'm going to speak in general terms, she said. In this jurisdiction, pawn transactions require government-issued ID, a ticket with date time, and an item description. Items are held for a set period before resale, and transactions are uploaded to a state database. She slid a photocopy onto the table, Harbor Pawn Loan at the top. Item, yellow gold ring, blue center stone, engraving ME 1957. Date, Wednesday, 11:12 a.m., 4 days before the brunch. Seller, name redacted in our copy, but Ortiz had seen the ID. Mom whispered, before. Dad said, 4 days before. Qley said, lots of people could pawn. Ortiz calm, only one person's ID is on this ticket. I cannot share that name without further process. But I can say the date conflicts with the reported timeline. She turned to Qley. Ma'am, is there anything you'd like to clarify? Silence, then a soft break. Qley's voice went paper-thin. It was a temporary pawn, she said. Just to cover a thing. We were going to get it back. Her eyes flicked at Ryan. He looked at the table, then at the door. Dad closed his eyes. Mom sat down like the air was heavier than it used to be. Ortiz continued, because this started as a stolen property report naming a family member, and we now have a pawn record predating the alleged loss, I'm going to recommend we resolve the report with an addendum. The shop has already transferred the ring to a wholesaler post-hold. We've placed a notification with that wholesaler, and they're cooperating. She stood. I'll be in touch about recovery options. In the meantime, I suggest you all talk. The door clicked. The house was too quiet. I looked at my sister. You accused me of stealing Grandma's ring. She cried. I panicked. Ryan finally spoke. 3 words that changed the color of the room. It was me. He'd asked Qley to pawn it to cover a gambling debt, just for a week. The ticket date lined up with a text in his phone. Later we learned about settling up with Darren. I didn't scream. I slid my binder to the middle of the table and said, so here's what happens next. 2 weeks later, thanks to Ortiz and a surprisingly kind manager at the wholesaler, the ring came back. The engraving matched. The appraisal matched. The insurer re-endorsed the policy after a jeweler re-inspected the prongs. Ortiz filed an addendum noting the pawn ticket predated the reported loss and that the ring was recovered. No charges were filed because the original report was withdrawn and the property was returned. Check your state. Rules differ. Ryan signed a repayment agreement to Qley for the pawn amount, fees, and a penalty to the estate of Grandma May. Dad's idea, elegant and petty in equal measure. The penalty funded a scholarship at Grandma's church. He also enrolled in a gambling recovery program. That was his work. Not my circus. Qley posted a note in the family group. I accused Hannah. I was wrong. I'm sorry. She sent me a private letter, not a text, with 3 lines that mattered. I lied to protect a mess. I turned you into the villain. You kept receipts instead of rage. I accepted the apology and added boundaries. We keep separate keys. No more public accusations. If something goes missing, we go paper first. The ring stays insured. If it leaves Qley's hand, it goes in a safe, not a pocket. Qley and Ryan postponed the wedding, then scaled it down. That was their call. Mom baked. Dad labeled manila folders like it calmed his heart. Me? I framed a small copy of the pawn receipt's date. Not the name, not the shop, just the date, and put it in my office. People ask. I say, dates don't lie. If something precious went missing and fingers pointed at you, what would your first 3 steps be? Timeline, police report, pawnshop check, insurance call, and why? If this helped, please subscribe. New narrated story every day.